They say a man's pride is the last thing to leave him. Mine didn't leave. It cracked, right there in a room full of balloons and paper crowns, when my daughter-in-law pointed at the door and called me homeless. My name is Ned. Grandpa Ned, if you ask my grandson, at least, he used to call me that. I stood in the doorway of my son Mark's house holding a small blue gift bag, the kind with shiny handles that cut into your fingers if you carry it too long. Inside was a wooden train I'd carved myself, sanded smooth late at night with a lamp buzzing over my head. It had taken weeks. I wanted it to be perfect because love, when you're old and mostly alone, becomes something you put into your hands. The house was loud. Children screamed with sugar-high joy. A banner read Happy 6th birthday, Liam. I smiled, practiced and careful, and stepped inside. That's when Claire saw me. She didn't lower her voice. She didn't even look embarrassed. She just wrinkled her nose, glanced at my worn jacket, and said it, sharp as glass. Homeless, get out. The room went quiet in that way only happens when something ugly lands where joy used to be. I felt my ears burn, not because I was homeless, I wasn't, not truly, but because my grandson was watching. Liam stood by the cake table with frosting on his cheek, his eyes wide and confused. Mark, my son, froze. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. That hurt worse than the words. Claire, he muttered, not meeting my eyes. Maybe. No, she snapped. This is a kid's party. I don't want him here. He smells like the street. I smelled like sawdust and old soap, but there was no room for truth in that moment. I bent down and placed the gift bag on the floor. My hands were shaking. I didn't trust them to pass it to Liam without dropping it. Happy birthday, buddy, I said softly. Liam took a step toward me. Grandpa. Claire stepped between us. Go to your friends. That's when something settled inside my chest. Not anger, something steadier. I straightened my back. Years ago, I'd learned how to do that even when life tried to fold me in half. I'll go, I said. I wouldn't want to spoil the party. I walked out with my dignity bruised, but breathing. Outside, I sat on the curb for a minute. The sun was warm. I thought about my wife Ellen, gone 5 years now. She used to say, Ned, when people show you who they are, believe them, but don't let them decide who you are. So I stood up. Here's the part Claire didn't know. After Ellen passed, I sold our big house and moved into a small workshop apartment near the river. I lived simply. I volunteered at the community makerspace, teaching kids how to build things with their hands. I wasn't rich, but I had something better. I had purpose. And quietly, I had a plan. 2 weeks later, Mark called me. Dad, he said, voice tight, Liam keeps asking about you. I let the silence do the talking. Claire thinks you embarrassed her, he added, but I don't know, something been bothering me. I understand, I said, and I meant it. You're welcome to visit anytime. That Sunday, Mark came alone. He saw my place, the neat shelves, the tools arranged like soldiers, the half-finished toys waiting for little hands that hadn't found them yet. You made the train, he said, picking it up. Yes. He swallowed. Claire said you bought something cheap. I didn't correct him. I just watched my son hold the proof of who I was. A month later, the school called me. They'd seen my name on a donation list. The makerspace had nominated me for a community award for teaching. They wanted a story, a photo, a face for the newsletter. The award ceremony was open to families. Mark brought Liam. Claire came too. I stood at the podium in my old jacket, the one she hated, and spoke about patience, about building things that last, about how children don't remember what you buy them, they remember how you make them feel. The applause was gentle, then strong. Liam ran to me, arms around my legs. That's my grandpa. Claire didn't clap, she didn't smile, but she didn't look away either. Afterward, Mark pulled me aside. His eyes were wet. I should have stood up for you, he said. I didn't, I'm sorry. I put a hand on his shoulder. Standing up is a skill, I said. You can learn it. A week later, Claire called. Her voice was stiff. "Liam wants you at his soccer games," she said, "and we're hosting Thanksgiving if you'd like to come." It wasn't an apology, it was a door cracked open. "I'd like that," I said. This time when I walked into their house, no one called me homeless. Liam showed me his trophies, Mark poured me coffee, Claire nodded, small, respectful. And the train. It sits on Liam's shelf now, wheels worn smooth from use, still moving, still going forward. Just like me.